Welcome back to Peril Pending and episode 7 of Reform Candidate Catchup. Yes, the news may be focused at the minute on Nigel Farage and his 5 million gift, and very good, I'd hope to see a lot more of that. But let's not forget the other wonderful souls that inhabit the Reform Limited Party. Today, we're looking at an article from the BBC by Sharon Edwards, titled Councillor Defends Dementia and Youth Service Cuts. Let's get into it. In order to put a face to the name, this is Matthew. This is the Reform Councillor in question. The article starts by saying, cuts worth £1 million a year, including the closure of a dementia support service, have been defended by Lincolnshire County Council. The savings are being made in areas including the memory support service and grants to youth clubs because, this is Reform UK. This is the party of the working class. So when they've got to make savings, they don't go after the little guy. They go after youth clubs and memory support services. Sounds a lot like Tory Austerity again. Councillor Sean Matthews, that was the fellow you saw at the start, who leads the Reform UK administration, said services were not being cut, and those affected were duplicating others. Yes, he's just revoking the funding. They're not being cut because I guess he's trying to say there's already a charity for dementia, so why do you need two? I mean, it's pretty simple math. Look, there's already one youth club. Why do we need more? The Memory Support Service, which provides support and advice for an average of 250 patients a month, is due to close at the end of June after the council withdrew funding worth £300,000 a year. Matthews said the authority took dementia care very seriously and was creating new dementia strategy to bring services together. It will not surprise you that in nowhere in this article does he go into any more detail here. He's just said he's going to create a new dementia strategy. He's not going to implement it. He hasn't implemented it. He is cutting funding though. So I don't know what patients are supposed to do in the meantime. That's reform for you. Chris Such from Louth, Lincolnshire, set up Bob's Brainwaves, a dementia advice charity, after her husband was diagnosed with early onset dementia. And she said the changes would put a big onus on the charity sector. Funding has also been withdrawn from the Safe Family Service, which helps families with children at risk of going into care, saving the authority £133,000 a year. Yep, because that's a reform. They care about, they don't care about the youth. They don't care about people suffering from dementia. Who is it they care about again? Who are they defending at the minute? Billionaires? Elon Musk? Crypto? Yeah, just the normal, working class priorities. In addition, Lincolnshire Youth Service Council, which runs 2 youth clubs and gives grants to others, has lost a grant with £100,000 a year. Its chairman, Richard Craig, said it would have a huge impact and that youth clubs could close. Councillor Steve Clegg, that's another Reform councillor there, executive member for Adult Care and Health, said the authority continued to provide a wide range of support and positive activities for young people and was putting together a new strategy. You see the pattern here? They withdraw funding, but don't worry, we're planning to put together a new strategy. Yes, in an ideal world of grown-ups, we would have implemented that strategy so that the time between removing funding and putting people onto the new plan would be as small as possible. But no, we're just going to leave them out there in the abyss. We're going to leave them in limbo. We're going to leave the existing services stretched to the max, which means that they're not going to perform as well because we're Reform UK. the party of the working class. Matthews insisted that savings were only made in services can be improved or duplicated elsewhere. What does that mean, Matthew? What does that mean? You only made cuts where if services could be improved. How is removing funding going to improve them? And what do you mean by duplicated elsewhere? Again, he doesn't explain this, so I have to assume he means that there's 2 dementia charities, and so the work's been duplicated, but dementia's a huge problem. Your guess is as good as mine. Please leave it in the comments below. I'm stumped on that one. Matthews states, "We were elected to reduce waste, save money, and cut the huge debt that we've been left with, and these sorts of duplications are not necessary." Yeah, see, you heard that? It doesn't matter if you have dementia, there's already one charity, go there. It doesn't matter how many people are already there and how many staff they have, we're also not going to increase their funding. Just get over there. Oh, and youth clubs, what does that matter? Look, there's a patch of grass over there, kick a ball, I guess. But don't worry, because they promise they've got strategies that they're going to put in place. But on that note of saving money, it is a little funny because, well, not too long ago, Reform UK faced a lot of criticism for spending £75,000 on flags. £75,000. So, just so everyone's aware, youth services for at-risk children, no money for that. People with dementia, no money for that. Flags, open checkbook, however much you want. Reform UK, or a joke.